What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and today I'm back to talk to you about more things about Warhammer 40k. More specifically, today we are diving into the Chaos Space Marines and how they've changed to become great in Ninth Edition and not so great in Ninth Edition. And then we're going to be talking about what models drastically need new sculpts. So without further ado, let's dive into the good, the bad, and the ugly for Heretic Astartes. So let's begin with the good. And just like the Grey Knights, the Marines for Chaos are going to be getting a nice buff when the 8th edition book comes out for Space Marines, because Space Marines have decided to share the glory that they get. And so Chaos Space Marines, just the regular troops, will be getting 2 wounds, and the Terminators will be getting 3 wounds. So that is really, really good, because it's going to make Space Marines for the Chaos side much more appealing to use. Because nowadays, well, previously, you didn't really see Chaos Space Marines filling in the troop choice for many battalions and whatnot. It was always just, get the least amount of Chaos Cultists that you can, and just throw them in an objective, and that's it. But no, not anymore. Now that Chaos Space Marines are going to be getting 2 wounds, they're going to be a threat. Especially Khorne Berserkers. Man, oh man. These guys got so good, because now they're hardier. Like, they're harder to take out. You're going to be probably not, you're not completely invulnerable, but if you're just foot slogging, that's a funny word. You're not going to lose as many. You're going to get into combat and you're just going to wreck things. So the longer you can have Khorne Berserkers alive, the more damage they will do, and they're just going to rip, tear, kill, maim, burn for the Blood God. So Khorne Berserkers just got that much more better at being beasts. Another thing to kind of note is that since 9th edition kind of changed the table size to be a little bit smaller, that's going to be a lot better for Chaos, because usually most Chaos armies are about getting in your face and just ripping and tearing things, especially with the World Eaters. If you're playing Iron Warriors and bringing a lot of vehicles and, demon engines, most of them are good in close combat. So you're going to be charging and getting into the enemy's lines a lot quicker now that the battlefield is a little bit smaller. So that's another thing to kind of keep in mind, especially if you're playing like Demon Princes who have warp time. They're gonna fly across the board and maybe even have a turn 1 charge, and that's big, because that's where your Demon Princes want to be. And speaking of like demon engines and vehicles, Helldrake's got a lot better, Dreadnought's got a lot better, the Lord Discordant, Mauler Fiends, Defilers, need I go on? It is a really good time to be playing demon engines for Chaos, and I love it, because now they don't suffer the penalty for moving and shooting. They can shoot while in combat. They are the bee's knees, and I love it. I really do. It's gonna be amazing, just mowing your enemy as blood and guts gush from the hulking mass of a Mauler Fiend. Just the imagery, bellissimo. But it's not all good though, because of course Chaos usually, well, in 8th edition, Chaos tended to have other detachments. Like, they'd be allying with like demons, or they'd be allying with the infamous what was it, like 3 Zeech Demon Princes or 2 Demon Princes and Ahriman. There's a lot of ways that you could bring in detachments and just cheese the hell out of it. And now that it's, it costs to bring detachments, I don't think that's well, it's still viable, but I don't think that's a very good idea to do anymore. Usually, 9th edition, it's kind of forcing you towards playing just 1 detachment, and that's it. Because if you bring in another detachment, it's going to cost command points, and you really do need command points to supplement your army, specifically with like trying to buff up other units, and it's, you know, losing command points hurts no matter what. So you're not going to be able to soup your Chaos Space Marines as much, so you're going to have to rely on just using one detachment and getting the job done that way. So yeah, so now you got to pretty much think about, is it worth, you know, getting more HQs and, you know, bringing in like a patrol or something like that? I don't know, because you are only losing 2 command points to bring in 2 HQs and a troop choice, which a troop choice is only going to be 60 points currently to bring in 10 cultists. Who knows when the codex drops how points are going to fluctuate. However, I think that where the place where chaos shines is in its HQs. Lord Discordant, Demon Princes, the synergy between like Sorcerers and Chaos Terminators and like their reroll auras and stuff like that. Like, Chaos Space Marines really thrive building around their HQs. And now it's kind of like, I'm just going to pay the 2 points to bring 2 more HQs and just another cultist squad to just, you know, use as fodder, use as baits or something like that. There is a stratagem. You could remove a Chaos Cultist squad and bring it in like on another table edge. That's hilarious. I used it last time in a game, and I actually got a few points that way. I saw an objective that nobody was on. I used a stratagem. They were actually stuck in combat with like some Necron Scorpec dudes. They, you know, got the F out of there, and they arrived on the other side and took an objective. So little things like that you can kind of, you know, use stratagems for. But overall, you're not going to be seeing a lot of detachments, multiple detachments for that matter. But Psychic Awakening really did help out, because you had like the Demon Bomb where you just brought like Possessed. The Soul Forge was really cool when using Chaos Demons and tying them all together with Iron Warriors. So you're gonna have to think outside the box a little bit on this one. But still, I feel like Chaos got more of a buff than a nerf overall. So now let's jump on over to the ugly side of it and see what Chaos models really need a new sculpt ASAP. Now recently we have been blessed with beautiful Chaos models. We've gotten a new Abaddon the Destroyer, or Despoiler, because that last model, boy oh boy was it bad. It was metal, the arms always fell off, it was ugly, it was just bad. And finally we got another cool sculpt for it, much better in my opinion. And then we got the awesome, gorgeous, probably my favorite sculpt in the last year, the Lord Discordant. I really love this model. It's just so dynamic, it's cool, everything I like about it. Like honestly, we've been getting spoiled with all the chaos stuff. We've gotten like new models coming from like Blackstone Fortress. We've got models coming out from like the Vigilus Ablaze. So we really have really great models, but on the flip side, Chaos does have some old ass shitty models. Look at the Chaos Sorcerer Lord, or Chaos Sorcerer and Terminator armor. I remember this sculpt way back from 5th edition. Like, it's that old. It just looks outdated. I mean, come on. Like, sorcerers are essential because they could cast like Prescience, Warp Time. Like, these are psychic spells that you know, kind of rely on, and to have them being cast by this model, maybe not. Same thing goes for Lucius the Eternal. Great lore, awesome lore, but its model is pretty bad. Night Lords need a revamp too. Noise Marines need a revamp. Demon Princes, I've said it time and time again, they look too cartoony. There's really great second hand, or not second hand, but like other companies that do Demon Princes really great. And then we come to Mutilators. Oh man, I don't even want to show you the model. We got new Obliterators. Why couldn't they give us new Mutilators too? Because Obliterators, they got that techno virus in them, and that's why they got all the flesh metal weaponry. Um, so they managed to give us new sculpts for Obliterators, which are the ranged versions of Mutilators, but they didn't give us any Mutilators. Like, I could just already imagine how badass they'd look with like claws and like swords and different types of, you know, close combat weapons coming out of their bodies. They could really do a lot with this, but no. Instead, we get these ugly ass, melted looking minis that are super outdated. So that just goes to show you that if you thought Chaos had a good lineup, just look again and you'll see that for every great, amazing model, we have Mutilators. So, that's the ugly side of it. Let me know what you guys think about Chaos. If you have been playing Chaos in 9th edition, how do you think they perform? In my opinion, I love them. I've been playing Iron Warriors for a little bit, and they do work. Just having two Mauler Fiends running behind or running next to a Lord Discordant is a sight to see. Um, Decimators are really good. The Soul Burner Petards are amazing because they do mortal wounds. What I've been doing is plopping that with a Sorcerer, so the Sorcerer can cast Prescience, and the Nurgle one, that's what is it, Cloud of Flies or whatever. So he gets a +1 while shooting, but if they shoot at him, they're shooting at -1. So it's really good. It's a little nasty combination that whenever he hits, he's hitting or he's doing mortal wounds, so that really hurts the opponent no matter what I shoot at. So that's a nice little combination that I like to use. So yeah, let me know what you guys think below, and the next and the final, the good, the bad, and the ugly, will be on the Tau. So stay tuned for that, guys. And as always, this has been the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.